Hi guys, Daphne here, and today I am going to be talking about my favorite books of all time, or rather favorite authors, because there's just too many books and the top 5 spots would be filled up by Harry Potter alone, plus some, and then I'd have to leave some out, and I don't like doing that. So we're gonna do top 4 authors, because I couldn't decide on the 5th, and then I'm just gonna read off this giant list of authors that I consistently check their websites to make sure that they don't have any new books coming. Or to check that they do, because that would be awesome. So first is J.K. Rowling, of course. And I did do the Harry Potter tag even though I wasn't tagged because I really love this book. So my copies are so old. Like, I have the British versions and I have the American versions, and the American versions are so torn up. You wanna see the worst one? This is my 5th book. Some of you guys are probably crying right now. Look at this. I have it taped just so I can keep the cover on, because I've read it over 20 times and it's a paperback and it's just falling apart. I got these for my birthday. My friends got them for me and I literally just started crying. Look how beautiful. Anyway, J.K. Rowling wrote the Harry Potter series, obviously. I love this book so much. Enough said. Okay, second is Tamora Pierce, and I've actually met her. I went to a book signing a few years ago and she's lovely. I have these books. So Tamora Pierce writes, I guess they're geared a little bit younger than YA, maybe probably middle grade, but I consider them YA. So they're either set in Tortall, which is Alana and Dane and everything, and I'll explain that more in a bit, or there's the Winding Circle books, which is Sandry, Deja, Triss, and Briar. I love them. Both of her worlds, I haven't read these books over and over again. I think I've read all of them at least twice, but Tortall is like coming home, you know? Like, she's writing more about Tortall, but I don't need to reread because Tortall is coming home to me. So the Tortall books, they start with Alana, the First Adventure, and then there's 4 of those, and then there's the Dane books, and there's 4 of those, and the Kelladry books, and then there's 4 of those, and there's the Trickster books, and then there's the Rebecca books, and I think there's 2 Trickster books and 3 Rebecca books. So those books are set in Tortall, which is kings and queens and magic. The first book in all of them, Alana, the First Adventure, follows Alana, and she has a twin brother named Tom, which means that Tom needs to go and become a sorcerer, and Alana has to go to, like, training to become a lady, and she really doesn't want to do that, so she disguises herself as a boy and goes to become a knight. So the first 4 books are about her, and then it just goes on from there, exploring the world more with all these wonderful, wonderful characters. The ones about Briar, Sandry, Triss, and Deja are all about these 4 teenagers who have magical powers, and it's not set in Tortall, it's set in a completely other world. And they grow up together through their teenage years, like, developing their powers. So there's a bunch of conflict, like, in the world. But their powers are so cool. The third author that I have here today is Cassandra Clare, and I'm going to NerdCon. If you're going to NerdCon, please tell me, because I'm super excited. And so me and my friend are going to NerdCon in October in Minnesota, and we're gonna meet Cassandra Clare, hopefully, if we can get, like, tickets to her event, I think. So it's a very book. And I have City of Heavenly Fire too, but my mom is reading it right now. And she did this thing where she skipped ahead to the end. And I was like, what are you doing? And now she knows what happens, which, I mean, I guess that kind of ruins part of the book, right? Because that one's got some stuff going on. So if you don't know, Cassandra Clare writes the City of Bones series, and which is the Mortal Instruments series, and previously before that is the prequel series, which is the Infernal Devices. I suggest, like, this is how I read it and it really worked well for me. You read the first 3 City of Bones books, and then you read Clockwork Angel, and then the 4th City of Bones book, which is City of Fallen Angels, and then you read Clockwork Prince, and then you read City of Lost Souls, and then Clockwork Princess, and then finally City of Heavenly Fire, because there also are some things that you need to know from the Infernal Devices, having finished that series already, to read the final book in the Mortal Instruments series. City of Bones centers around Clary, who is 16, I think she is at the start of the book, and she starts seeing these runes all over the place, and one night she sees this boy kill this demon thing in a club that she's at, and she finds out that she's a shadow hunter, which is a demon slayer and part of this entire other world set in New York. The Infernal Devices are also about the shadow hunters, but they're set in Victorian era London. So that's fun, like historical wise. My favorite characters are Simon and Magnus. Simon, just because there aren't a lot of like nerdy Jewish boys, especially not nerdy Jewish vampires, like that is awesome. And I love him for that, and he's just so cool, I guess. I don't know, I find him cool. And Magnus just because, oh, Magnus. Fourth is Veronica Roth, who wrote the Divergent series. The first book is about Tris Pryor, and she lives in a futuristic Chicago that has, when you grow up in like a faction, so she grows up in abnegation, and then you have to choose when you're like, I forgot what age. Some age in your teenage years, you have to choose which faction you're going to go to. So just really, really excellent dystopian. Such a good thing. Okay, this is rare, but I really like the ending of the third book, and I can't tell you what happens. But if you want to discuss it with me, I am all for that. I will really, really discuss that, because most people that I come across are like, no, I don't like the ending. I don't like what happened. I like it. I went and I biked to the library as soon as it said that it had to come in. I sat in the YA bookshelf section, and I just sat there and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed in the middle of the local library. I think some people looked at me quite funnily, but I wasn't really paying attention because I had tears streaming down my face and couldn't see anything. And this is the 5th spot, because I have too many favorite authors just to include them in a list of 5. I think I did it when I was like 10, but I'm not 10 anymore and I can't do that. Okay, so the list of authors that I think are really, really awesome, and I have read almost all of their books, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna skip over the ones that I've already listed off. So, Allie Carter, Brandon Sanderson, Christopher Paolini, Cinda Williams-Chima, Colleen Hawke, Deborah Harkness, DJ MacHale, Elizabeth Wayne, Elizabeth Bunce, Fiona Paul, George R.R. Martin, James Dashner, Jessica Day George, John Flanagan, John Green, Karen Healy, Kristen Cashore, Marissa Meyer, Melinda Lowe, Orson Scott Card, Patrick Rothfuss, Paula Stokes, Rachel Hartman, Ray Carson, Rainbow Rowell, Rick Riordan, Robert Galbraith, which is also J.K. Rowling, Sarah J. Maas, Shannon Hale, Sharon Shin, Stephanie Perkins, Trudy Canavan, and Victoria Aveyard. So that is my list of authors that I'm a huge fan of, and I will read basically anything that they publish. So that's it. Tell me in the comments below what your favorite books are, because I want to know. If I haven't read it, tell me to read it. And if you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye! And bloopers for your entertainment. My headband's doing something funky. I hate wearing headbands with glasses, but this one really fit with the outfit today, because then you have to decide like if you're gonna put the glasses over or under the headband. Guys, look at this lighting. Oh my god. I've put the camera, and here are the bookshelves. I usually put it here, right here. See my room in the background. It's kind of messy right now, but look at the lighting. It's so nice outside. And oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. I got lots of books. Oh, aren't they beautiful? This video is getting longer and longer.